By now, I'm sure you've heard of the tragic passing of Jerry Springer, right? Former mayor turned talk show host turned trauma peddler, some people would say. However, whether you loved him or hated him, Jerry Springer definitely made his mark. Some people argued, in fact, that he made his mark by using, right, the pain, the suffering, the denigration of the Black community. So a lot of people were, let's be real, overjoyed when they heard the following news following Jerry's passing. Now, this was a user submission, and I do very much want to thank... Okay, forget all the stuff I was saying before. We have now identified the unnamed person, so shout out and thank you so much to Simply Neek. Cheers! Now, most people have heard of this by now. If you haven't, listen, guys, tune in. I have got a whole series of information for y'all, okay? But you can see here, there's a tweet here, and it says, the best Jerry Springer episode ever is Jerry reading his own will. He has two Black children out of wedlock. Wife threatens to expose, so he keeps it under wraps until he dies, then leaves all the money to the children he never met. What a legend, right? So in some ways, people thought that this was kind of like Jerry's making it back up to the community, you know. This is why he was always interested and, you know, had so many Black people on his show and whatever. It's not that he was using Black people. He loved Black people so much he created Black children. It was a whole thing. Okay. There was so much drama all over Twitter, YouTube, various social media outlets over this. I'm going to show you guys the video. Then I got more for you.
I'm not ready for this.
Okay. It's recording.
Goodness, I got nervous all of a sudden.
I can stop it.
No, keep rolling. I can't be more nervous than my girls will be when they watch this, so... Well, girls, I thought I'd know what to say by now, but the truth is, I don't. If I know anything, I know you two've been fighting, probably moments before you hit play, but seriously, girls, if you're watching this, then I know that I've been the cause of more than a few fights recently. Megan, look at me, sweetie. Jordan, Megan, I know I wasn't the best father, not even the best example of a man for the two of you, and there's nothing I can do now to change that. I know that. Mm-hmm. But I do want to try to make right what I can. John and Misha, I know you don't know me, but I hope by the end of this, you'll know why I did what I did and why I've done what I've done. Where do I even begin? Well, first off, I know you've been wondering why your mother has been left out of all this. The reality is, this is what she wanted. And I don't know what all she shared with you, but I hope you're open to hearing me. And believing me when I say she chose this. Well, really, I put her in an awful position, and then she did the same to me.
Sounds fair so far. It seems like
shortly
Jerry's
after you were born, Jordan, I met and
right.
fell in love with another woman. And I had a child with her a year later. This was obviously very painful for your mother. It was painful for me. I found myself feeling things I'd never felt for someone I would have never imagined. It was confusing and complicated. And I shared all this with your mother. She tried forgiving me, but she just couldn't do it. More than forgiving me, Joan couldn't bear the shame of divorce or outside children. So she forbade me from seeing that woman and our child again. And I did what she told me for as long as I could. But no matter how hard I tried, I could not stay away from Melinda. John, Misha, I am so... There's nothing. I loved your...
Look at their faces.
John, Misha, I did a terrible, terrible thing. For terrible reasons.
My mom's name is Belinda.
I let fear and ignorance and, quite honestly, hatred keep me away from you and your beautiful, beautiful mother. and I've spent the last 26 years in complete and crippling shame. And it is still a drop in the bucket of the immeasurable amount of pain I have caused each of you. My wife learned of your arrival.
Right, now we'll link the video when we release the pre-record if you want to watch the whole thing, right? But I mean, oh my God, imagine, right? Just imagine the irony of it all. Imagine like Jerry's final show is his own life, right? And, like even after death, this man is hosting another Jerry Springer episode. I mean, people were all over this like white on rice. Oh my gosh. Now, y'all, if you really, really were enjoying that delicious little Jerry Springer tidbit, I hate to break it to you, but it just wasn't true. And yes, there has always been facts. There's always been receipts proving that this was never Jerry Springer's life. But let's take a listen.
Hello, everyone. I am the creator of the somewhat viral Jerry Springer video at this point. It was a play. It was a play back in 2020. I am an alumni from Tulane University, and we did a festival of virtual plays called Reframed, which was reframing the narrative with Black writers and actors, and it was doing a lot of great things. And so we needed somebody to play this character, and so we reached out to different people, and somehow we reached out to Jerry, and he was like, "Yes, I'd love to do it." He wanted to be a part of it, and so he did it. And so me posting it was my tribute to it, which is when I say that time when the people, my TikTok account is very small. Like I've had like maybe, I don't even know if I've had 30 followers. I don't care. I don't look at stuff like that. My TikTok account is just for me to post. I do music and stuff like that. It's just for me to.
So this video, and he's about to tell you, this video has been online for years. They did this play back in 2020, right? He's not a big creator. It just never got picked up. So no one really noticed it. So when he reposted it, right after Jerry's death, then all of a sudden, since, everything Jerry has now become relevant because he died, then people are seeing it like it's, for the first time. But this is just a repost of something he's had on his little account since 2020, right? So it's amazing. But let's keep listening.
Keep, to say, post something so that when you look back, one day after you're better and maybe you do something, you'll at least, try. But when I say that, it's the same people that's on my Facebook and my Instagram, and they for the most part know what I'm talking about, and so it's family. I'm from a very small town in Louisiana. Like I'm not from some city and all that. Like I'm from a very small town. It's the same people who are on my platforms, and so I'm just here to provide some clarity. It was a play. This is not what happened really. Now, I put it in the comments immediately on the first video when it was like 8 comments. I was surprised at 8. Like I barely get, but as I'm saying, it was a play. Please stop spreading. And to those people out there who think that there's a true conspiracy, who've been trying to block the videos, well, yes, I have posted the links to part 1 and part 2 of the whole video that we did back in 2020. But to those people who are trying to report me and other people who are trying to spread the truth, y'all are ridiculous. Like, what in the world? Why are you trying to? It's not a conspiracy. It somehow, they just fell together like that. Like, Lori Parquette just happened to.
Like, imagine, I want y'all to think about this. Imagine. So he's the one who originally posted the video. Okay. It's been on his channel for years. Himself, the actors in the video, people who knew were trying to dispel the rumors that this was true. Right? That this was like a real thing in Jerry's life. He was just a play. And then like people don't want to accept that. They do not. They are so attached to this idea that Jerry secretly was in love with this black woman who's over there and had these secret love children. And that's why he was attached to this whole Jerry Springer ideal and why he had to do the, all this drama because he was really secretly in the same kind of drama. Like people were so attached to it that when they were being informed of the truth, they did not want to let it go, even being shown irrefutable proof that this has been up for years and that it's not true. This is not a will reading. This is not posthumous. Like none of this is true. And they just did not want to accept it. It's amazing.
to write something that was really nice and neat during the time, and he just lended himself to it. It was like an interesting person to be playing that character, and I mean, it was on YouTube back then, and we talked and posted about it back then. I guess y'all just didn't care then, you know. And so when he recently passed, I was like, wow, to be in a play with him, like right.
Joan kept me away from you with the threat of exposure. She did not keep me from providing for you. You see, I told her that if I had to accept a life without you, she would not get a red cent of my fortune, and that you would be named equally in my will in the event of my passing. But with everything going on in the world right now, I realize that I have to go a step further. Jordan, Megan, I leave our home here in New Orleans to you to do with whatever you want. The rest of my estate, my properties in Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, my bank accounts, investment portfolios, all liquid and intangible assets, everything, all of it will go to my children, John and Misha. Girls, all your life I've been telling you to make your millions, and I hope you have. If not, you can always sell the house and split the profit. But my entire estate.
Right, and so like I understand the impulse. You really want to buy into it, right? Because I mean, wow, how amazing would it be that someone with the estate of Jerry Springer is in essence spiting his wife and children for, you know, his black child, or black children who were kind of like left behind. And it was never that he was ashamed. It was this woman and et cetera, et cetera. And it's never that he was ashamed. It was all about this woman, his wife, that, you know, like he literally was trying to do the best he could. But like, if it was up to him, he would have claimed his black children, right? So, I mean, overall, I understand the impulse. I understand that the desire. I know why people want to buy into this. I totally get it, but it's not true. Okay, guys, it is official. It's not true. If Jerry Springer's got a drama coming up, I don't know. It is yet to be uncovered, but this certainly isn't it.